with the opportunity for a Hollywood finish will take the 250.
Phoenix, there they go, down to the bottom, 4 or 5 wide. Let's see if they can all keep it together. But Jacob Barker gets...
Remember last year when they ran the Weenie 500, they streamed it on YouTube, on their YouTube channel? They're bringing it to TV this year!
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another day of Wednesday Night Dash Racing. This is your host, John Miles, speaking, and we are taking it back to the Truck Series. Been a little while since we've been back here, but it is good to be back nonetheless. Today, we'll be racing at Atlanta Motor Speedway, but important to note, we will be racing the 2008 configuration for the ATL 75 presented by Scene Media Productions in Hampton, Georgia, USA. A lot of changes this season to look forward to, but before we get into that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at that track info. This Atlanta Motor Speedway configuration, this was done before the Super Speedway change in 2022. As I mentioned earlier, it is in Hampton, Georgia. It opened in 1960. This is your traditional mile-and-a-half type track with 24 degrees of banking, but make no mistake, this is the intermediate package we will be running. So don't expect those high speeds that you're used to seeing on TV. Expect a lot more slipping and sliding, and we'll see what these boys can do. As usual, the session rules, we have a 40-minute practice that we're wrapping up right now with about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on that. Then we'll head to our 2-lap qualification before a 75-lap race. Important to note, there will be 3 green-white checkered attempts to try to end this race under green. Heading back on track, we're going to go ahead and take a look at those rules. Just for those new people, since this is the first race of the season, go ahead and get these rules knocked out of the way. It is a 10-race season with 9 ovals and 1 road course. 2 fast repairs for these guys to try to fix any damage they might have. Races are run in approximately 45 to 50 minutes, but cautions do sometimes make that go a little bit longer, so keep an eye out for those pesky yellows. Cautions and 3 green-white checkers on all oval races, but on those road courses there will be no stage breaks or full course yellows. We do follow the NASCAR point system with the bonus point for pole position, laps led, most laps led, and fastest lap. So keep an eye on those points gaps as we get later and later into the season. Incident counts, this is something new that we are changing this year. 18X for super speedways and road courses is a black flag drive-through penalty, and a 13X is for all the other ovals. That is a change from last year. Last year, short tracks were included in that 18X penalty range, but for this year, we've pushed them in to try to clean up some driving, so look out for all those cautions that might come on the track. As always, though, the 25X is a disqualification, so drivers will need to remain under that 25X or they will be parked for the rest of the race. As we take a look at the big changes, we have a 30-car field, including our part-time guys. We're going to go ahead and take a look at those roster changes. For the roster notes, there are 3 new drivers this season. Welcome, guys. Aiden O'Neill in the 91, Ryan Tripp in the 77, and Tyler Rouse in the 82. There are also some car number changes, so if you see some guys with different numbers, this is your time to look. With Tyler Chaney switching from the number 7 to the number 1, Jacob Barker from the 12 to the 2, Nick Warboy with the 27 to the number 33. Returning drivers, these are guys that are coming back after sitting a season or 2 out. Harrison Santos in the number 28, welcome back, but also welcome back our Season 6 champion, Mark Vickers, in the number 84. Some other notes to note, especially around the team side of things. Tyler Cheney has left the Appalachian Mountain Autosport Group and has formed Team Extreme, both with Tyler Cheney, Ryan Tripp, Tyler Rouse, and Tyler Lugo Vickery. Have all the Tylers on one team, should make it easy enough to follow. Bill Molefield has joined AMA in replacing Tyler Cheney, as well as Bill Molefield has, as well as Chad Winstead. Aiden O'Neill has joined Blue Ridge Racing, as well as myself. You can see I'm running a part-time schedule in there. And Matt Faust has taken my spot on the JM Motorsports roster. He will be driving the number 89. As you can hear by the radio silence in the background, qualifying is in effect right now. But just one more look at those drivers' standings. As you can see, a lot of zeros, a lot of nothing on the board right now, with this being the first race of the truck season. But there is a quick list of all the drivers and their numbers, ones to look out for. But yeah, 30 cars, like I mentioned earlier. Pretty packed field. We should see about, I'm not quite sure how many are in here tonight, but probably quite a bit. I want to say around 20 to 25-ish by looking at the scoring pylon, but should be a good time. Should be a lot of racing. Pretty great schedule that we'll take a look at later here in a bit. As I mentioned earlier, with those team changes and a lot of other team stuff going around, if you take a look at those teams, you can see the number 1 of Team Extreme. Ryan Tripp, Tyler Cheney, Tyler Rouse, and Tyler Lugo Vickery, as I mentioned earlier. Appalachian Mountain Autosport, rounding the field with Bill Molefield, Chad Winstead, Hunter Hughes, and Wesley Fuge. Blue Ridge Racing, Aiden O'Neill, Connor Fuge, Jacob Barker, and Robert Lewis. The FR Racing team with DJ Fluck, Eric Richardson, Lucas Punarelli, and Nick Warboy. JM Motorsports with Dawson Buchanan, Jax Malin, Lane Snow, Matthew Faust. And finally SMR with Chris Fuge, Colton Gardner, Garrett Jarnigan, and JP Jones. It's important to note a couple manufacturer changes as well. Both the Blue Ridge Racing crew as well as SMR have made the change over to the Ram manufacturer. For now, it's just exclusive to the Truck Series, as Ram has not introduced themselves to the O'Reilly Series or the Cup Series yet. But I'd have to imagine they might be looking to make a change there too once those are introduced. Right now we have the number 82 sitting on top of the podium right now for qualifying. Still a lot of time left as these drivers get their 2 laps in. You'll see this is with the 2008 configuration, it being an intermediate compared to the super speedway we're used to. You're going to see a lot different type of truck in this instance that you're dealing with. Whereas normally you're kind of just in the draft and just staying in there with the super speedway, but on this 2008 configuration, expect a lot of tire wear, especially on those right sides. You'll see the right front, you'll see some cars trend a little tight while other cars trend a little loose. You should see more loose action a little farther back in the pack you go whenever you are in the draft, and then you'll be cutting off all that front downforce onto the front of your truck. So expect those guys in second, third, and so on to be a little loose and maybe burn that right rear up a little bit. But that right front for the leader is going to be asking for forgiveness because it's going to be absolutely burnt up, as these cars do trend to go a little tight, especially on the longer run. So might see some interesting strategies here. Maybe some 2-tire stops, maybe some 4-tire stops. But we will have to pit for fuel at some point during this race. As qualifying starts to end, it looks like Tyler Cheney right now is leading the field. He will be the first, if he does, and if this is how it stands, he will be the first person to score a point, with that bonus point coming for the pole position. Before we get rolling too far, let's take a look at the Garage Talk episode. Windenet joined FR Racing's Eric Richardson and DJ Fluck for an all-new episode of FR Racing's Garage Talk. This week they break down Ty Gibbs' first Cup win, the chaos at Long Beach, and Ian Miller's dominant run last week at Long Beach, plus sim racing struggles, gear talk, and the future of Las Vegas. Watch now on YouTube or listen wherever you get your podcasts. I mentioned a little bit earlier, but we'll go ahead and pull up that Wednesday night schedule for this 2026 Truck Series. As you can see, right now we're at Atlanta Motor Speedway, but next week we'll be doing a double header with the IndyCar Series. We'll take a look at their schedule a little bit later in the race. But heading to St. Pete should be some tight street course action. Should be a lot of fun, so make sure to tune into that on Tuesday and Wednesday. Then heading to Texas Motor Speedway, followed by our annual trip to the Super Speedway at Daytona. New Hampshire to follow, the short track racing. Homestead, Miami at night should be a lot of fun. We'll see who can rip the fence the best. Rockingham, Auto Club, Iowa, and then finally the Kansas Speedway to round out the season finale. It looks like it is going to sit as it does for now. So we'll go ahead and take a look at our pole sitter of Tyler Cheney in the number 1 car. As they start to grid. Let's see if we can grab Tyler Cheney real quick. Tyler Cheney, this is John Miles in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Oh, not doing too bad, but right now you are the points leader. Congratulations with your 1.4 winning starting on the front row, starting P1. So starting off in the best seat possible with this race. We will probably see quite a bit of tire wear at this older configuration, but tell me, what's the strategy as we take the green flag?
Take care of your tires. This place will chew them up and spit them out like nobody's business, so it's just going to be kind of keeping the rubber on it and then going from there. Depends on if we get a long run or a short run, what you do later in the race. But to start early, keep the rubber on the tires for sure.
Joining a new team, you're going to have some rookies with you. Talk to me about that a little bit. Are you giving them any advice before we get rolling, or is it kind of just they know what they're doing?
I just kind of give them the rundown. I mean, we got Vickery. He's been here for the longest time, but Rouse is the new guy in the show, so we kind of just gave him the rundown of the series and everything that's going on here, everyone needs to be racing with. But super happy to finally bring Team Extreme into the league scene. We've been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, so it's good to have them kind of league racing now in that area. So I know we'll be fast this season, and especially tonight, we just got to keep ourselves up front, keep ourselves in the game.
Looking forward to seeing what you have. I'll shove you back with the rest of your team. Good luck out there.
Thanks, John.
That was your pole sitter, Tyler Cheney, as pace car will roll off here as we start the 2026 Truck Series Wednesday night dash. .75 laps, cautions are enabled, they are in the restart zone, and green flag is out. Dawson Buchanan on the number 4 car gets a great jump, staying even with the number 1. We'll have to see what groove they prefer throughout the long run of a race. As Tyler Cheney mentioned earlier, you want to stay tires, but you also want to stay towards the front and keep that clean air. Big bump there from the number 2 of Jacob Barker into the number 1 as well. Peaking 3 wide as Dawson Buchanan in the 4 is ripping that high line around the fence. Let's see if he can make it stick on those colder tires. He does. 1 is there trying to pull the side draft. But the number 4 of Dawson Buchanan, your new leader, going to turn 1 as the caution is out. Not sure where the wreck was there. A couple cars back. Ooh, the 80 of Eric Richardson. We'll see if we can get a replay of that. Big wreck, it looks like. 80 gets a little loose there, but it wasn't the cause of the wreck. Ooh, maybe it was. Yep, there it is. It's a little loose, tries to correct, and there is just absolute carnage behind as he collects the 49. 82 as well. 33. A lot of damaged race cars right there. Was in it. The 21's also coming to pit road. See who else decides to elect to pit to fix some damage. Several cars are coming down pit road. 24 on pit road as well. There very possibly could have been another wreck that we just missed. A lot of cars on pit road. That's Nicholas Warboy in the 33. Christopher Fuge there in the 49 coming down as well. The 82 of Tyler Rouse making his debut in the first wreck, so nothing says welcome to Wednesday Night Dash like burning that first fast repair in the first lap. A couple other guys rolling on the pit road. Harrison Santos there in the 28. Wesley Fuge following in the 68. Like we mentioned earlier, Eric Richardson still sitting in pit road. And there he gets rolling. Bill Molefield collected as well, fan favorite. Hate to see that. Little mix up front, but nothing too crazy. Dawson Buchanan was able to hold on to the lead at the time of caution, so he is your new leader. We'll have to see how he handles these restarts and when he decides to hit the gas. Tyler Cheney, though, he is starting P2, but if you can get that good restart, you can see that outside line can prevail on the longer by the time you get back to turn 4, so we'll have to see what he can do. Something new also for your viewers to keep an eye on, the broadcast. As you can see, the window decal above the windshield, you can see it is a solid orange color for your season regulars, and then it's this gold chrome finish for your season champions. So keep an eye on those windshield banners and kind of help you, for anyone that's new, figure out who's a previous champion and who's still looking to get that first one. A couple movers through the field as well. Looks like the 5 of Lane Snow has moved up to the 4th position. We'll have to see if he can follow Tyler Cheney through or maybe send a little 3-wide action. If anyone's going to be sending it 3-wide, though, got to keep your eye on the number 2 of Jacob Barker. He was very, very quick on that first restart, peeking to the inside a couple times. If he can time up that jump with the 4 of Dawson Buchanan, you have to imagine there might be a move going into turn 2. As the pace lights are off, we'll be rolling this time by. 4 laps down so far, 3 of them under caution, but hopefully we can get some green flag racing here. As the pace car rolls off in the Geico restart zone, and green flag is out. Huge check up there from the 1. As the rest of the field gets clear. Not sure if he missed a shift there or what went on, but as you can see, it is checked up the entire top lane. That bottom lane, probably for about 5 or 6 cars, has surged to the front. Lane Snow with nowhere to go was mired all the way back to 9th place. You see him now. You have to wonder if there's any damage on that bumper. Doesn't look like there's too much damage on the front bumper, but hard to tell from that camera angle. You'd have to imagine it might be if he checked up and might have rear-ended the 1 car and had no idea. Could get going. As we continue to race, Matthew Bowser really making his rookie season as his first full-time season in the Wednesday Night Dash Series. Regular over there on the IndyCar world. So happy to see him over on this side. As he has moved his way up to the 3rd position with teammate in the number 9, Jax Malin, not too far behind him right there in the Pioneer number 9. As the 14 of Robert Lewis makes a dive to the inside. See if 9 can hold up position with the 14 and get that side draft and pull him back a little bit. Looks like they've all gotten in line for now. As the 89 makes a dive now onto the number 2 car. Have to see if he can make that stick. Will his teammate go with him? He does not. He stays a little high. That top line does prevail when it comes to the exit of these corners. We'll have to see how much these guys are tire saving. It's hard to tell right now. As the rest of these cars are pretty single file. A big impact a little bit farther back there with the number 19 leading that pack. Drafting still, even though this is the Super Speedway version of Atlanta that we now run in all the series, still a very, very drafting type track. Very similar to the likes of tracks in Michigan especially. Still not technically Super Speedway, but drafting still plays a pretty big role, and it's going to be hard to pull away as the 2 teammates of JM Motorsports are now going at it for that first position. So number 9 is trying that high line out to see if he can get that pass one. If he goes for a little bit of crossover, as we have JM Motorsports 1, 2, 3 right here between the 4, the 9, and the 89. Making a Team Moto crowd right now, can't lie. Feels nice to be back in the booth here on Mondays, but just going to be here for the Wednesdays for a couple races, maybe more down the line as Jackson Lambros unfortunately had to sit out. He's the best in the business, though. I'm not going to pretend to be anything in his league. So we're looking forward to his once he can get back to us. As the 9 does complete the pass on the number 4, new leader, number 9. It's important to note, too, as we mentioned a little bit earlier in the rules, there is a bonus point for laps led, most laps led, so all these guys getting these laps in early will help just every point matters, especially down the line. I want to say last season the difference between 7th or 6th and 9th, I want to say it was 8 points, and so every point definitely matters down to the buzzer beater, so it's important to get those bonus points where you can. As the 9 continues to lead, it's important to note the 4 is notorious when it comes to tire saving. We'll have to see as teammates, if there's any data sharing going on, what they're doing. But as you can see right now, they're running very different lines, with the 4 wrapping the bottom as the 9's kind of in that 2nd and a half to 3rd groove. It is faster, but you just cannot skid those tires, or you'll end up burning that right rear off too. First time the 9's touched clean air too, as well as going back in the pack, so we'll have to see how well he can hang on, as there's big shove back there with the 5 car. Feels like I'm cherry picking right now with the JM cars, but got a little loose there we saw on exit. Tyler Cheney, who led us to the green flag, has fallen back to 6th after that little less than average restart. It's still great racing so far throughout the whole entire field. A little bit farther back, the 2nd pack is still trying to form up, trying to get some momentum going. As we welcome back a Semper multi-champion, Colton Gardner. Glad to see him back in the league after taking the season off last season. Pretty good in these trucks historically, so we'll have to see how well he can rebound after. Doesn't look like he's in a great position right now. There is a long race. We're just 15 of 75 laps back at the lead. Gap has stabilized right now between the 9 and the 4. I mentioned some guys sitting out a little when it comes to the broadcast and stuff like that. Good time to mention the recruiting side of things. So we're looking to build up our bench of broadcasters here on Stadium Scene TV. If you're looking to break into broadcasting for the first time, we'd love to work with you. We're currently building up the bench and have to fill in opportunities throughout the summer and fall, and future opportunities to become the regular voice of a series as we take on additional leagues in the future. It's important to note you must have an active member of iRacing with an account and own necessary cars and tracks, but we will provide the training. The broadcast opportunities are also paid. To learn more, apply at Scene Media Group /broadcasters. In true Fox Sports fashion, of course, we get a caution during the ad readout. Not quite sure what went on there, but we'll figure it out together. As a 68 of Wesley Fuge is off track, we'll go ahead and take a replay and see what we can find. This looks like it started in the second pack here. Car a little bit ahead of him. I believe that's the 8 of Brian McKinney. It is. We'll have to see. Little contact with the 84. A little loose, and then boom. Is that JP Jones? Maybe it's Wesley. It's Wesley Fuge right there. Just goes up into the wall, comes back down, just gets loose, overcorrects. Field goes spinning. Boom! I believe that's the 80 of Eric Richardson also getting collected in that. The bad luck just gets worse for his season. It's kind of carried over a little bit from the Tuesday side of things. He had a great run, though, yesterday. It's important to note in the IndyCar series, but unfortunately that bad luck demon has struck again. As the cars are back on track, do have some pitters. Looks like the 9 did win the battle off of pit road with the 4. A lot of cars taking the pit. As the other car stayed out. Right now the 9, like I said, did win the battle off pit road, followed by the number 4. As the rest of the field goes by. Great stop, looks like, from Tyler Cheney as he's bounced all the way up to 5th place as the running order continues to cycle by. That might end up 3rd once you get by these lappers, unless the 33 did stay out. I'm not quite sure if he was in that first wreck, or that second wreck or not. If he wasn't, he will assume the lead, it looks like. New leader, number 33, Nicholas Warboy. That is going to make the number 9 on new tire start on the outside. The 4 of Dawson Buchanan going to have a hard time getting around those scuffed tires of the 33. Tyler Cheney might have just had an amazing pit stop, or it's very possible they took 2 tires instead. It is a good strategy, something to think about when you take 2. Typically, for every 10%, based off the practices that I was running, about every 10% you run on the right side, is about every 4 to 5% on the left side. So, a strategy that you can definitely take. We'll have to see on a long run how well it lasts. The cars, I do believe, have a chance of making it to the end now on fuel if they stretch it. So, we'll have to see how well they can stretch it, but close. But it is something we have seen before. Happened last season in Kentucky with Braden Lewis. He got his first win doing just that strategy, staying out, seeing what he could get out of it, and sure enough, he got a win out of it. As the pace car rolls off, the 33 will take the green flag as they hit the restart zone. Green flag is out, and he spins it. Huge wreck. That is the problem with those old tires. It's unfortunate. Huge pile up. And man, do you just absolutely hate that for the... Gosh, just hate that for the 9 car. As you can see, there's just... Can't get rolling. Loops it around and bam, right into the 9. But the cars try to clear out of the way, but there's just nowhere to go as it collects single cars. We'll take another look from the 9's point of view on that caution. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what he was seeing. There's the restart. Just boom. Nowhere to go. You see there's quite a bit of toe damage in that. You can see how much he's just trying to rip that car around. As we are green flag racing right now, I must have missed something. Hughes has taken the lead. Dawson Buchanan in the second place position. Yes, there was no caution. As assume there'd be a caution for that. That's why I went to the replay. I apologize for missing the rest of that, but apparently iRacing decided not to throw the caution when there was cars spinning and going to the grass, but new leader right now, using 18. If you're Jax Mellon right now, this is not what you want to see with a broke race car. Have to see where he is on track. He did get it fixed. He's back out on track, but in danger from going a lap down, or another lap down. So try to keep on that camera angle. You can't quite see the leaders yet, so it's still not what you want to see. Right now the battle is a little bit farther back as the 40F Colton Gardner has made his way to the front through all that mess. Right now he's battling the 89. He does get him cleared, not quite. Door side by side coming to the start finish line as they continue to race side by side. Matt Faust doing a great job in that 89 of ripping that fence, and you can see it does clear. Right now the gap to your leader between first and second is about 6/10. Like to see as these laps tick by how well, who can save tires the best. Similar gap between second and third as well. Really want to maximize the draft, you have to use that top line to get the most out of the car, especially on exit. Wrapping this bottom definitely saves tires more. If you run the bottom wrong though, you end up getting the throttle a little too quick and burning that right front, so it's a fine line about when you get back to the throttle. But in theory, if you do it right, the bottom will save more tire, but also the drafting effects aren't quite as large. So these cars a little bit farther back, you can see there is a pass right there for. Looks like there's trying to be a pass for third right now, as it looks like Tyler Rouse in the 82. Making his rookie debut, welcome to the 82, Team Extreme. Right now he's fighting the 89, as the 89 is going to look outside to try to get some clean air on the front grill. Looks like a couple scuffs on it. Nothing too major. As number 9 is still the first one a lap down. The only car a lap down. So we'll have to see if he is able to get that lap back. Gonna need a caution, gonna need one quick to make something of it. Take a back look at the big battle right now for really the third position. As now Matt Faust has kind of killed his momentum on the 82 ahead of him, so now the 40 is taking a peek every now and then. If you're gonna run a line, you gotta run a consistent one. If you run that diamond pattern, you might get some better drive off, but man, it's gonna kill your tires. As his front pack continues to pull away. A little bit farther back we have Connor Hughes. Then a ways back is the 5 lane snow. I saw him kind of get through that wreck, but I'm not quite sure if he made it all the way through, so we'll have to see. For one of Tyler Chaney, an unfortunate bystander. Had to get pretty checked up whenever the 33 just wouldn't get rolling, so. See this side by side with the 8 right now. I'm sure on a mission to get back towards the front. Probably also wouldn't mind seeing a caution, but unfortunate. You see that out of the 33. It's one of those things. It's the first race of the season. You're restarting on old tires. Everyone else behind you's got new tires. It's one of those things, kind of a learning curve, I guess. As you can still see, there is some damage on his car, but definitely a learning curve involved in that kind of stuff. Just, I don't know, have to read the room just a little bit, maybe. Sure, you're trying to maximize track position, but it is tough to restart on old tires, especially if you haven't practiced something like that. Back towards the front, Hunter Hughes has lost quite a bit of time on the 4 of Dawson Buchanan. The 4 car is now still Right on the bottom of that track. You see the 18 goes a beautiful run off here. Increase that gap. As you can see that clock continue to rise now to 3/10, almost to 4/10 before we start to turn in. But the 4 car is running a more preferred tire saving line as he does follow the 18 through that time. Wrapping the fence as well. Let's see what kind of runoff we can get. Not quite the same. Dawson's got 2 things to juggle right now. He's got to save tires to have enough for the 18 car, but at the same time, he can't be too slow and save too much tire because he's going to have to end up passing 2 cars before the 82 Tyler Rouse gets around him. All of these cars kind of staying in line right now. 40's kind of leveled out in 5th place. He as well, kind of like the 4, has done a great job over a couple seasons, maximizing that tire saving strategy and getting the most out of every weekend. Congrats to him as well. This is his 100th start in the Wednesday Night Dash League, so huge congrats to him as well. Big milestone, to say the least. So happy that he's been loyal to this league for this long and had a lot of success that's come with it. All the team championships, the drivers championships as well. A lot to be proud of in that 40 car. So driving a Ram now instead of a Ford, but I'm a Chevy guy, so I'm a little loyal to Chevy. But nonetheless, super happy for the 40 car and all of these accomplishments on their starts. We take a look back at the leaders. The 4 car closed the gap quite a bit on the 18. 18 running a little bit of an unorthodox scheme in the sense the 18 number itself is pushed quite a bit forward. Really fine, almost like a next-gen-esque. Not very traditional, as you can see. They are coming up on lap traffic. This really isn't what Jax Malin wants to see. As he does get out of the way, but now we have a new car 1 lap down. Jack's going to have to get around the 33 to be the lucky dog candidate. Not quite sure where he is on track. There he is. I believe he's caught the tail end of the first pack, but still has to get by. There he is. He has now passed the 33. Now he is back to being the first car a lap down. As the battle for the lead continues as they are side by side. It's important to note the 82 is looking at this and waiting for a good opportunity as the 4 kind of drives in a little, comes off the very bottom like he's been driving. But does cruise the lead, the 4 car is back to the front. Still very, very tight. You can see they're right on top. A little shove there out of the 18 into the 4, entering the corner. Shoving them high into the track. Have to imagine that messed up a little bit of entry to the corner. As you can see, they are still back to side by side at the line. Have to see how aggressive the 4 gets as he cuts right in front of the 18. It's important to note in these trucks how much downforce is applied on their back, what would be their tailgate. And kind of their back of their pickup truck, and the giant spoil they have on those trucks. Whenever a car moves across your nose like that and just dumps all that dirty air on the car, it'll transition from tight to loose and then back to tight. And so it's important to keep your hands at the 10 and 2 position ready for as that car's momentum and the physics of it changes in real time. As the 18 continues to ride around, I'd call that the 3rd groove of the track with those right side tires on that 2nd indention from the bottom. You can see Dawson enters a little bit low that time. A little bit farther back, the 40 is now side by side with the 89. As I mentioned earlier, we might see some of that experience start to come in on this full-time rookie in the 89. How much tires they ended up using here. little bit farther back, there's a whole, ooh, there's some contact. There's a whole battle going on between the 5, the 2, and the 19. 2 and the 19 being teammates. As the 2 gets in the wall a little bit, the 5's gonna have a little bit of a run here. See if we can do anything with this. Right now is a battle for what would be 6th place with the 19 of Connor Fuge. Right now, Lane Snow is probably getting fed some information from his teammates just on how to stay tight as he can move to that bottom lane. The same lane that Dawson Buchanan before is running. See if he makes this time. If not, he goes back to the high line, trying to maximize that momentum to keep the 18 behind him. Very close battle right now, but it's important to note they've almost switched roles in the sense to where now the 18 is doing a better job of tire saving when he runs that bottom line. As the 4 goes back to his bread and butter there on the white line, 1 and 2. Still a great battle right now for the 4th position, as well as Colton Gardner continues to try to get around the 89. It is just a tough pass to do on the bottom of the track with that momentum you get rolling off the top side, especially when you have a little drafting help from the car in front of you if you're still in line. As you can see the difference right there. A little bit farther back, we have a side-by-side battle right now between the 5 and the 2. He has gotten by the 19 as well. Have to wonder if there's an issue with the 19 that he missed. He was at some point ahead of both these cars. As the 19 is in the wall a little bit, the 2 makes a dive to the inside of the 5. We'll have to see how well this 5 runs this outside groove. It's pretty steady right now. With how much downforce is on these trucks as well, side drafting is a real possibility that you should see quite a bit of. So, especially when we get later in the season, the drivers get more comfortable in these trucks. You can imagine that you might be hanging on that right rear or left rear spoil a little bit more to drag those cars back. As the 5 has now put a little bit of space between him and the 2. Still a great battle right now. About 3 to 4 tenths between 1st and 2nd. Still the closest battle on track between the 5, the 2, and the 19. Bill Moorfield 911 right now getting passed by Tyler Cheney, who is 1 lap down. We now have several cars 1 lap down, both the 24, the 1, and the 9. I believe they took a green flag stop, if I had to guess. Which makes me think we are going to have to stop for fuel. But I'm assuming they're trying to run this thing pretty long at the maximum of their fuel tank. We're running now. Could be the winning strategy, as the other drivers will still have to pit if they do have to stop for fuel. It's looking like they might have to. More of the data. So the first round of green flag pit stops. Taking a bit of a Hail Mary chance at it, but you really can't knock the one for trying after a lot of bad luck that he experienced having to check up for that battle earlier. Huge battle right now between the 9, looks like some other cars as well. 9 is 1 lap down, the next car he has to pass is the 84. He's a little bit ahead of him, but he's working by right now the 28 car. Important to note, but like I said, the 9 just trying to be the first one to lap down, but he's got a lot of cars ahead of him, including the 84 who's the 1 of Tyler Cheney, and the 24, his teammate Tyler Victory. Back towards the front, the gap has stretched out a little bit by about 5 tenths now. When will we see pit stops? Some of these drivers might try to stretch it to the end. The problem with that is you're going to get a lot of guys off sequence from each other, see a bunch of different strategies, and then one caution could throw a wrench in someone's plans whenever you're a lap down, the caution comes out, then if you're still in the lead laps, then you maintain track position as well as get new tires, which is a win-win. But A little bit riskier. The longer you stay out, the more likely you're going to end up losing time on those guys that do pit and take tires. So, in the instance of the one car, you're taking a huge Hail Mary attempt at it by stopping as early as you did. You're way off pace with everybody else by the time everything cycles out, but at the same time, just hoping for a green flag run, get yourself back on the lead lap, and then maybe get a caution time. It's still a huge battle right now. You can see those lap cars of the 1 and 24 trying to work by these two on the top with older tires. This is a battle we're going to have to keep an eye on. Not necessarily a battle between positions, but battles between cars on the lead lap and cars pitting. As it looks like the 82 is the first of this front pack to pit, coming in from the third position, sorry. Slid through his box. That's going to cost him quite a bit of time, as you can see. Man, he's way out of whack right now. You can see he's too far to the left. He's going to have to back forward, back over, and man, you have to imagine that's going to kill his race. Not a lot of green flag pit stops that we're used to here on Wednesday Night Dash. Most of these pit stops are on the caution, so having to get that timing down in the green is a whole new challenge these drivers are going to have to get used to as the racing competitiveness continues to increase throughout the league. The leaders still haven't pit quite yet. I'm watching the scoring pylon along with you to see if I catch anybody else pitting out of this front pack. You can see the new tires in that one starting to come through. Cuts the nose off the 4. It's going to allow the 18 to get side by side here. Ripping that fence around the track. But you see that one bench on top rolling by the 18 again. Like I said, managing lap traffic is the main thing right now. As there's a huge checkup right now between the 4 and the 18. Might have wanted to pit there. 24 just didn't quite let him down, so I was able to gas it back up and get back to it. No other cars have pit yet. Several cars are still a lap down. If you're the 9 or day, he's going from bad to worse. These cars with new tires, or these cars that are going a lap down, at least are getting new tires and trying to play it long, whereas the 9's almost going to need 2 cautions now back to back to get back on the lead lap and lead strategy as well. Still no takers to pit road quite yet. As we see a jump between the 5 has made his way up side by side now with the 89 as he does clear him. 2 teammates going at it. You have to imagine if the 40 as well got around the 89. You have to wonder how much tire the 89 spent battling the 40. Might be quite a bit. As you can see, 5 has cleared himself from the 89 by a good margin. It's coming from the Tuesday side of things in IndyCar. Tire wear is, I wouldn't say worse or better, it's just different. The tire's way different over on them. That side of things, there's a whole lot more to manage besides just tires, but tires being one of them. So it's almost a lot less to manage, but a lot more emphasis on what you have to manage. So learning curve for sure in these first couple of races, as we do see some pit stops. Looks like the 89 is elected to pit as he slides through his box a little. That might cost him just a tiny bit. It's more time than you think. It feels like forever whenever you do it, because you're not expecting yourself to slide through, and then when it starts to slide, there she goes. But you can tell he was on the losing side of that, as the 40 also comes in the pit. He was on the losing side of that pit stop, so he had to come in and get new tires to try to make something of it. As you can see, the strategy he was playing wasn't quite working to his favor. 40 still sitting in the pit box. Probably getting quite a bit of fuel if I had to guess. He might be topping that thing to the very top in case of an overtime. That Faust is still sitting there as well. Must need a lot of fuel in these things. It's caution's out. On lap 58. What did we miss? Have to see who's off the pace right now. Not seeing too many cars with damage. There's one car with damage. We'll go ahead and take a look and see if we catch anything. This was under caution. There is damage on that 68 though, as you can see that. There it is. Found it. 68 and the 14. Affiliate teammates get into each other. Really unfortunate. That does bring out the caution. The leaders are going to pit with those guys that just came and pit. If they could, I'm not sure if they stayed on the lead lap, but if they did, it's looking pretty nice right now as they come down. So the leaders come down and get 4 tires, but those people that just pit, if they were able to stay on the lead lap, sitting on a gold mine right now, as they have just inherited the lead. I'm not sure if anyone made that call. I believe the 40 and the 89 were a bit too early. They should get the wave around and be a lap down, but we'll have to see. You can see right there, not quite getting it done. It has the 40 at 1 lap down right now, with the 68 and the 89 2 laps down. It's a matter where that caution came out. There's your leaders coming off pit road, with the 4 and the 18s that get caught up to the lead pack, as well as the 5 of Lane Snow. Was sitting in 3rd when the caution came out after several cars pit. We'll have to see where they end up once everything cycles through. See who you can't grab from real quick. Let's grab the 18. Hunter Hughes, this is John Miles in the broadcast booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Well, you were leading a couple laps there, fighting hard with the 4 car. You guys were swapping lines, cutting each other's noses off. Good, fun, clean racing, but cautions, breed cautions, breed cautions. Is this the end of it, or what's the plan here?
You know, I sure hope so. You know, it's been really fun. I think I'm better than Dawson on the long run. But man, it's been really fun. I got to reel him in there at the end, and I was really excited to see what the pit strategy was going to be, because we were both getting close to pitting, I could tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll pull our belts tight and lock in here.
Alrighty, good luck out there. I'm going to throw you back in your booth.
Thank you.
As the pace lights are off, we'll have to see if the 18 has anything on the outside line for the 4 car. Pace car rolls off in the restart zone. Hammered down. Great jump there by the 4. The 1's giving a shot to the 18 here. Pushing them ahead. Right now the 18 is clear of the 5. Those cold tires on the bottom of those not quite going to need this. 5 going to try to slide up. Another caution's out. Now, who was in that one? Trying to see if I can find anything. Couple cars slow. is going to allow some cars to get back on the lead lap. With 21 is the Lucky Dog now. Not quite sure what happened there. Takers on everywhere. Not miss anything there. Not quite. As the Fuge, I believe, is out of the race with fast repairs being used up. All the drivers getting sorted right now. Lane Stowe did maintain third, so he will be starting behind Dawson Buchanan with Hunter hitting the outside and Cheney pushing him again. We'll have to see if the 4 and the 5 can do a little better of a teammate restart. Someone needs to wave their hand out the window to get stuff rolling. Time to restart a little better. It's important to note the 18 and the 1 are former teammates who were winning the team championship last year. So, how well will they work together now they're on rival teams? We'll have to see. They did a pretty good job last time. Cheney stayed in line. Held it pretty good with the number 18. Cars are still single file. Lucky Dog hasn't been picked quite yet. Maybe he has. Might have been JP Jones as he cycles around. That should mean the next car on the Lucky Dog position is the number 9. Trying to fight his way after that unfortunate wreck with Nicholas Warboy. Speaking of Warboy, the 33 is sitting P15 right now. These cars start to get stuff figured out. There we go. Alright, we got stuff figured out now. Jax Mellon is the first car lap down. It was JP Jones that received that Lucky Dog. So now he'll start at the tail end of the longest line. You see way there in the very back. But on the lead lap nonetheless. Matt Faust is still 2 laps down, unfortunately, after getting just unlucky with the way that caution fell. Colton Gardner being just 1 lap down, just not a lot you can do in that scenario. Just unfortunate where it came out in comparison to where the leaders were. Mason Alexander in the chat, that 5 car is looking real nice. You know what, I couldn't agree more, but I might be a little biased. Looking pretty good in P3. We'll have to see if he can do a little better on the restart. Tries to time it up with his teammate. As the number 4 is in the Geico restart zone. A lot better restart out of both of them right there. You can see now the 5 is side by side with the 18, with the 4 getting a great jump. Have to see how well the 5 can follow him through. As right now he does secure second place. That momentum from the top is going to be rolling pretty quick here. And might have been a little shove there into the 5. The 5 is about to be sent 3 wide. Not quite, but still side by side with the 18. These cars get single file. The 18 slides across the nose of the 5. It's the 1 that takes a dive to the inside of the 5. In the wall a little. These drivers move out of the way. Super tight going off that corner. So the 5 is not happy with the situation he was put in by the 1. He's in the wall again. Continues to fall back now to P7 and falling into 1 after some totaling damage. Back towards the front, Dawson continues to lead, but not even by a second for most of this. As there's a huge shove from the 1 car. As the 18 gets in the grass and ooh, huge wreck. Caution's gonna be coming out. Gotta be coming out. It's just a bad place for a push. There is no way we are green right now. Oh my goodness, is it staying green? It is staying green. A lot of damage on those cars, but sure enough, we're staying green at the 24. There's the caution. And if you're Tyler Lugo Vicker, you're hoping that thing didn't come in. I got a clean truck at the very front of the field, but the rest of these cars, we'll go ahead and take a look, a replay at it now that we have it. Now that we're not going green, that's the second time we went green that I'm surprised we did. You see the one just gives a push. If we're going to take a look at the one car when he does it. It starts really on the exit, like pushing through the corner. Runs a great run, tries to make a move. It's the 18 a little squirrely. Forces the 18 through the grass. Clips the 18. 4's got nowhere to go. Clips the 4. Wrecks quite a bit of cars in that process. You have to imagine the 4's going to come in and get that right rear fix and any damage on the wall. Hasn't burned any fast repairs, but time to take tires anyways. The 24 fakes it and stays out on track. A couple cars staying out as well. Most of these guys are coming down and getting 4 fresh Goodyears. Might end up getting a 2-lap shootout here. I don't believe it'll throw us into overtime, but it might. Greg stopped there by the 5. The rest of the pit road, the one with some huge damage. So he does have that first pit stop. This should move the 9 to the lead. The lead lap, I should say, not to the lead. After spending the entire race a lap down, just trying to manage it. As he does now come to get fresh tires. We'll be starting the back of the pack, but we'll have fresh tires. Anything can happen here, as we've seen tonight. As a 24, the 2, the 84, and the 88, 32, the 80. There's a lot of cars that stayed out. It looks like the 5 won the race off pit road, maybe? It appears so. Great stop by the 5 crew. Beating the 4 off pit road. Not sure where Hunter Hughes is in all this. He is on the lead lap. Car looks okay. I'm sure he had the damage fixed, but he is sitting P17 right now. But right now, your first set of brand new Goodyears is the 5 car in 7th place. We'll have to see with this shootout what he can do. Is there's someone's getting a penalty as they fall back to the field. Quite possibly just a lap ahead of the field and has to cycle back to the rear. Just double checking my math. The 5 or the 9 should be very back as he is. You can see him just now crossing the start-finish line. But on the lead lap with fresh tires, a lot of racing left. But he's got 18 cars to pass. He wants to get back to the front in 2 laps. We'll have 3 laps, not 2, to end this race. I want to remind you we have 3 attempts at a green-white checkered if we do happen to see it. But that has to happen with this first lap that we go green or the second one. If the drivers take the white flag, this race will end under caution. So right now, a lot of scuffed tires between the rest of the field. We'll have to see how well they hang on. As the first car with new ones is the number 5 of Lane Snow. But he's got 6 cars to pass to get up there. Pace car rolls off. They are in the restart zone now. Want to see how well they fire off. Green flag is out. Cars get rolling. 3 laps to go. A lot of these cars get pretty much clear. The 4 is bobbing into the pack. The 5 got kind of trapped there on the bottom, but the 4 has made his way up to 4th place. Let's see what 3 laps what he can do. The rest of the cars have gotten single file. How much time can he make up? That draft is playing a pretty big help. He's on the outside of the 84. laps to go. Huge battle right now for the lead. Make no mistake, this 4-car is ripping the fence and is going to have something for him here at the line. As there is a wreck with 2 to go, final lap, turned around, 4-car gets turned around, huge wreck. That just might end it, folks. Had a run, but unfortunately it looked like one of those cars just didn't quite have the tire as he was turned around. And this race will end under caution, with Tyler Lugo victory, taking the checkered flag. Jackson Malin, who was down for most of the race, we'll have to see where he cycles out, but right now it's Reed in P4. Incredible recovery. Lane Snow, unfortunately, in that wreck as well. A lot of good cars caught up in that. Just nowhere to go. We'll have to see. Dawson Buchanan finishing 17th, it looks like. That is the race. We take a look at Jacob Barker. We'll have to see if we can get... There's the 2-car. Let's see this burnout from the 2. Now trading the 9 in second position. Garrett Jarnigan in third. 2 taking a little victory lap. Big season for him. He also has found success on Tuesday. Joins a relatively short list of Wednesday Night Dash winners. Great burnout we're seeing. Can only imagine the excitement we are going to hear from him. As we get those results pulled up for you all, go ahead and take a look where everybody finished this race. Does have Jacob Barker finishing first, Jax Malin finishing second, Garrett Jarnigan third, DJ Fluck fourth, Warboy fifth, Bill Molefield sixth, Lane Snow seventh, Cheney eighth, Mark Vickers ninth, and Dawson Buchanan, who was making a charge there at the end, but unfortunately comes home 10th. Looks like we got our top 3 in the broadcast booth. We're going to go ahead and start with our 3rd place finisher, Garrett. Normally we see you having a lot of success on Mondays. Kind of a quiet night for you here on Wednesday, but rallied to finish 3rd after some late race drama. How was that carnage there at the very end?
Yeah, I don't really know what that was all about. Just found out I was 3rd. Don't feel like I should be up here. Got a speeding penalty, so that set me back pretty early on, but somehow made it through every single wreck. Not sure how there were not 3 or more cautions thrown there, but ended up with 2 incident points and didn't get caught up in it. So we'll take it, I guess.
Take it nonetheless, finishing still quite a bit of points gap, but we saw a lot of green flag racing, probably some more than we thought we would when some cautions didn't get thrown at certain points in time. But overall, these trucks are a lot different, in my opinion, than the Cup cars. So talk to me about the adjustments you've had to make, switching not only from Cup to truck, but also manufacturers.
Yeah, the manufacturer change, not a big difference there, but yeah, the truck's definitely a little bit, I don't know, a little bit squirrelier. I think one of those wrecks, someone up front spun their tires, caused that big wreck. There was no caution there, but yeah, it's excited to see how the season's going to go. The long run was fun, though. Learned a lot there.
Excited to see what you can do for the rest of the season as well. Is there anyone you'd like to thank before you kick it off to second place?
Yeah, just SMR boys.
SMR boys, and they had a pretty strong run in there, but with that, we are going to kick it to the second place driver. Jax, you spent about, I want to say 3/4 of the race a lap down, sometimes almost sneaking up on 2 laps down, but overall pulled it together to finish second place. How'd you do it?
Yeah, kind of like Garrett said, there at the end, it was just luck, really. To start the race, I mean, we got up there, led 15 laps, and then kind of got screwed on a restart, which a caution didn't come out, of course. But, yeah, then that last restart, I started tailing, so I finally got my lap back, and it was kind of bullshit there. But we'll take second place. I just drove through it all, and Phil got DQ'd, and, yeah, we'll take it.
Talk to me too. You mentioned it a little bit, but talk to me about that restart that you had with Nick Warboy. There was definitely some contact that put you in the wall, but when you didn't see the caution be thrown, I think the whole broadcast was a little surprised. But tell me how you get back into a mindset of, okay, I got to salvage what I can and continue the rest of this race.
Yeah, well, first off, he should have known to pit when we all brought it in. We got 4 tires, and he spins it right into me. But yeah, resetting, I was pretty mad. So I was just I had to pit for tires and repair. So try to get the fast lap was my mindset there, and hope for a caution. But that didn't come till pretty late. But yeah, all in all, we'll take the result.
Finished in P2, led a couple laps too. Solid points days. Anyone like to thank before we kick it off to the winner?
Yeah, the JM boys everyone was pretty competitive. So yeah, good work to them.
And with that, we will kick it to our winner, Jacob Barker, in the number 2. Now, Jacob, you've had a lot of success each season in IndyCar, and now we're carrying over that success for your win in the Wednesday Night Dash Truck Series. Tell me how you're feeling right now.
I don't know right now. A win is cool, but the shenanigans that happened on the last lap were. I feel like I should take responsibility for it because I did clip the grass and that caught me sideways, and it all just ensued from there. So I want to formally apologize to my competitors because I feel like I have a pretty clean racing record with most of my peers, and I feel like I give them the same respect that they typically give me. So it's just, like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I truly don't know, unfortunately. A win is really cool, but in my book, I'll place an asterisk next to it. The finishing result may say Jacob Barker P1, but to me, it doesn't feel like that. But it's cool nonetheless. We're batting 2 for 3 this week. Personally, 1 last night in IndyCar and 1 tonight. So yeah, no, it's pretty cool. But like I said, there's that weird feeling as well with this win because I didn't know that I had won until Colton had told me that I had won after pulling down pit road. Because I didn't know Tyler had hit the incident point limit, which I didn't think that would happen from the very slight contact we had, which is I genuinely do feel bad for him. And I know we're gonna more than likely talk about it later because we do show each other, like I said, good respect on the track. It's unfortunate how it happened, but we take these things in stride and we move on.
Mixed emotions, it sounds like, to say the least, but there's definitely some ups and downs to pull from this, but let's focus a little bit on those ups. I mean, still a win at the end of the night, and we saw a lot of good racing out of you for the rest of the race. Besides, I mean, it's easy to focus on the last lap, but for the rest of the race, there's definitely some good racing out of that 2 group. Talk to me about some stuff that you can maybe take from this race and apply to, I guess maybe not the road course next week, but in a couple weeks when we go back to the ovals.
With the truck, it's got very bad aero push because of how the reduced horsepower is with compared to the next gen car or the Xfinity car. So the aero push is definitely worse with the dirty air. So it's a lot of trial and error as the run goes on. But no, other than the last lap, we had a pretty solid night. The restarts were a mess. I'll say that for on behalf of all drivers. I think we can all agree that the restarts were a mess and that they could have been possibly controlled a little bit better. But it is what it is. I got ran into by Rouse on one of the restarts, which brought out, I think it was the second to last caution. Then I spun around, and I stayed on the lead lap, which gave me the tires to kind of come back through the field. And when that, excuse me, it was the third to last caution. When the second to last caution came out, when it had to be declared manually, I made my way through it and drove up to fourth, and then was second behind Tyler on the restart, and I knew I had a shot. And I was not gonna wreck him for the win. I know we made contact, but that was because I hit the grass coming to the white flag, and that's just all hell broke loose there. Which is, like I said, I feel really, really bad for my competitors. I know I'll talk to some guys about it and explain it. I just want to thank SMR and BRR for the opportunity. It's cool to get a first win finally in a stock car, and W Energy Formula, Turtle Beach headsets, and Moza, and hope to win one the right way next week on the road.
Well, we appreciate you taking time to do this interview, and congratulations on your first win. Whether you put an asterisk on it or not, I'm not going to. A win's a win. Congrats on that. We will see you next week on the road course.
Appreciate you, John. Thank you.
Yep. And with that, that was our last interview with the winner, Jacob Barker, in the number 2 car. Important to note for anyone asking, Tyler Lugo Vickery hit the incident point that we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, which put him, it automatically puts him at the end of the lead lap cars. So that's why you see him finished in the 12th position, the number 24 there. Great race, though, nonetheless. A lot to take from it as we kicked off the Truck Series. Next week, doing something a little bit different. Like I said, the second race of the year will be the road course race, as we take one quick look at that schedule. You can see there on the Wednesday Night Dash schedule. Heading to St. Pete. Should be a good one. Lefts and rights, expect some road course ringers to come out of the woodworks to compete. But this has been John Miles for round 1 of Wednesday Night Dash Truck Series. We will see you all next Wednesday.